Between 1968 and 1969, a killer terrorized the state of California. He didn't hide. He wanted to be found. He sent letters to newspapers. He sent coded ciphers to police. And he called himself the Zodiac. And to this day, more than 50 years later, nobody knows who he was. This is the story of America's most terrifying unsolved mystery. Welcome to Unknown 911. The Zodiac Killer was a serial killer who operated in Northern California in the late 1960s. He claimed responsibility for 37 murders. Police confirmed at least 5 victims, but the real number, nobody knows. What made him different from every other killer in history was that he enjoyed the attention. He wrote letters, he sent clues, he mocked the police, openly, publicly, without fear. He signed every letter with a symbol, a circle with a cross through it, the Zodiac symbol. And he promised, if his letters were not published in the newspapers, he would keep killing. It was December 20th, 1968, Christmas time, when 2 teenagers, David Faraday, 17 years old, and Betty Lou Jensen, 16, parked their car on a quiet road in Benicia, California. They were on their first date. They never came home. Both were shot dead. David was found beside the car. Betty Lou had been shot 5 times in the back. She had tried to run. The killer left no evidence, no fingerprints, no witnesses. 6 months later, on July 4th, 1969, Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau were sitting in a parking lot in Vallejo, California, when a car pulled up beside them. A flashlight shone through the window, and then came the gunshots. Darlene died. Michael survived, barely. And just 40 minutes after the shooting, someone called the Vallejo Police Department with a calm, emotionless voice and said, "I want to report a double murder," giving the exact location and details only the killer would know before saying, "I also killed those kids last year," and hanging up. On September 27th, 1969, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were having a picnic by Lake Berryessa when a man approached them wearing a black hood with the Zodiac symbol drawn on it. He tied them up. He stabbed Brian multiple times. Then he turned to Cecilia and stabbed her 10 times. Before leaving, he walked to Brian's car and wrote the dates of all his attacks on the door and marker, like he was keeping score. Starting in August 1969, the Zodiac began writing letters, not to police, not to the FBI, but to newspapers, demanding his letters be published on the front page or he would kill again. Each letter contained a cipher, a coded message. The first cipher was broken by a high school teacher in just 1 week, and the message read, "I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous animal of all." The second cipher, the 340-character cipher, remained unsolved for over 51 years until December 2020, when a team of code breakers finally cracked it, and the message read, "I hope you are having lots of fun trying to catch me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise." The FBI, the SFPD, and every major law enforcement agency in California was hunting the Zodiac. They had a partial fingerprint that never matched anyone, a description of a heavy-set white male around 5 feet 8 inches wearing glasses, and almost nothing else. The most famous suspect was Arthur Lee Allen, a man who owned a Zodiac brand watch, used the same ammunition as the killer, and had even told a friend before the murders began that he wanted to hunt humans and call himself the Zodiac. But his fingerprints did not match, his DNA did not match, and he died in 1992. Without ever being charged. In 2021, a cold case team publicly named Gary Francis Post as the Zodiac, claiming his face matched the composite sketch and his name was hidden inside the ciphers, but the FBI reviewed the claim and rejected it. The case remains officially unsolved. The Zodiac was always one step ahead, attacking in different counties, using different weapons, never leaving usable evidence. His last confirmed letter was in 1974, and after that, silence. Was he dead? Was he in prison? Or did he simply stop? We don't know. If the Zodiac was 30 years old in 1969, he would be in his mid-80s today. he could still be alive. The Zodiac Killer murdered at least 5 people, possibly 37. He terrorized an entire state, mocked police for years, sent coded messages that took half a century to crack, and he was never caught. David Faraday was 17 years old. Betty Lou Jensen was 16. They were on their first date. They deserved better. So I want to ask you, who do you think the Zodiac Killer was, and do you think he is still alive today? Drop your theory in the comments below. I read every single one. If you want more dark, unsolved American mysteries, subscribe to Unknown 911.